As always, it is up to Prince William to eventually take charge, and many people have said that he should put an end to his younger brother and the crazy plans that he had planned for this summer. In light of the fact that the king is currently in the United States of America, I am certain that, just like you, I wish him the best. This is an extremely demanding schedule to follow. And the sensation that I get is that the king, in my opinion, is frantically trying to do, and I despise the word, but you know, the things that are on the bucket list. As a king, he desires to be able to partake in all of the activities that he truly desires to undertake. Not only did Queen Elizabeth have a wonderful, healthy, and long reign, but she also had the beauty of the period, didn't she? When you think about it, the luxury that she had was not only a wonderful, healthy, and long reign. I am not trying to be insulting when I say that she might have a regular life, but she could have been selective, and she could have almost had it. You should know that she was able to plan everything, whether it was a trip on the Royal York Britannia or a vacation in Balmoral or anything else. If you are the king and you have a limited amount of time in the monarchy, you need to ask yourself, is it possible for me to fit this into my schedule? In addition, I would like to suggest that the king's schedule is a little bit excessive for certain things. In my opinion, I believe that he is probably not putting enough effort into himself. Nevertheless, I have learned from a reliable source that Camilla does not actually have a great deal of influence over the situation. This is due to the fact that, to tell you the truth, all men are a little bit stubborn. We don't want to be reminded that we are not 21 years old, and we don't want to be told anything else like that. So you just keep going, and it's possible that you have the best health, medical professionals, but that's not the point, is it? The reason for this is that there are a lot of individuals who know people who have certain problems, and the last thing you want is to be worried, afraid, or stressed out. In essence, it is comprised of those things, isn't it? When you eat well, you want to be able to relax and do whatever you want as well. I know what it's like to be going through any kind of problem right now, and even though I've mentioned it quite a few times on our show, I know what it's like to get a letter on the weekend that arrives on a Friday, and it's a brown envelope. Even though it turns out that it's not your problem, you still worry about it in your mind over the weekend. So, may God bless you all. Typically, you will believe that you have paid for this, but eventually, it will be someone else's mistake. You understand what I'm saying, but you're finding that it's causing you a lot of stress. That is merely a nuisance. Similarly, it is easy to comprehend the reasons why William has essentially rejected this proposition. Keep in mind that Harry was the one who published this headline, and you are correct, friends, they do publish these things. Permit me to be completely honest. Let's suppose you want to go and meet up at Balmoral right now for a summer invite. Harry and the other folks are like, oh, let's say you want to go and meet up now. It is important to remember that when they believed that everything was going well, she had the jams cooking on the stove, and she was using the youngsters and selling them out at the drop of a hat. There was no curiosity on their part. This is the most important thing, the most important takeaway that I received from that headline, and this is what I love most about sharing these stories with you, in case you were wondering. The question that I would ask if I were His Majesty the King is, well, why did you bail out on my coronation? If you wanted to be a part of this family so badly, you would have urgently wanted to be a part of it. A nasty assortment of disrespectful behavior on the part of Meghan Markle was displayed, regardless of what you believe about it. Throughout my entire life, I have always believed that she ought to have made it possible for Archie to attend his father to the coronation. A little bit like, King Charles when he was there, when his mother was receiving, he has never forgotten it because it is such an incredible thing, isn't it? Because she was unable to achieve what she desired, she did not want to do that. No, she did not want to do that. Considering that Harry is unable to see it, it must be rather thick, right? The reason for this is that, in the end, it is not about security, rather, it is about control, and that is the issue. Consequently, William has, according to a reliable source, essentially rejected the idea. Furthermore, to make matters even more difficult, he is not providing any indication as to when he, Catherine, and the children will be arriving. If you want to have an idea of how this works, let me simply say that he will have a preference for the times that he is able to go. Is it true that he will one day rule the land? Therefore, despite the fact that King Charles will want to see all of his grandkids tied to various things, such as the Tyndalls, Prince William, especially Prince George, and everything else, it is impossible for him to do so since it is against royal protocol. Therefore, as a consequence, he will respond, "Well, we're thinking about this," which basically indicates that even if Charles wanted to ask Harry over in a covert manner, he would not do so since he would probably be embarrassed. Because the most important thing, and this is what is coming from a reliable source, is that William does not want the monarch to experience any additional stress. I can tell you that the king was really furious behind the scenes with Harry's glib remark about parenthood that he made in Australia. I can tell you this because I can read between the lines. Furthermore, in addition to all of that, Harry, despite the fact that he was required to provide his approval for this particular event, once again stirred up the pot and made it extremely stressful for the king to meet with Trump. He does not engage in politics. We are having a cordial gathering here. However, Harry, as you are aware, gives it a shot. The president is then entitled to a go back, which is fair. This does, however, make it a very thin line. And it seems that Harry believes that he can bully his way back into this affair, or else I will just throw a fit. This is something that has been repeated over and over again. It is not functioning properly. The fact that we have someone as powerful and resolute as Prince William is a source of great encouragement and gratitude. Since you are watching this, Harry, there is no need for you to worry about the letters and emails that have been sent. This is over, right? From a broader perspective, the contrast in approach between Harry and Meghan and Prince William is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. While public narratives often shift depending on perspective, there is a growing sense that some decisions made by Harry and Meghan have added unnecessary tension at a time when stability and unity are more important than ever. In particular, certain actions, whether related to public statements, family events, or timing, can be seen as lacking sensitivity to the pressures already facing the monarchy. When moments that should have been about support and respect instead become sources of distraction or controversy, it naturally raises questions about priorities. By contrast, Prince William appears to be taking a more measured and responsible stance. Rather than reacting emotionally or escalating situations, he seems focused on maintaining stability, protecting the institution, and, importantly, reducing stress on the king during a demanding period. That kind of restraint and long-term thinking is often less visible, but arguably far more valuable. It's also worth noting that leadership, especially within a family as scrutinized as the royal family, often requires difficult decisions, including setting boundaries. In that sense, William's reported reluctance to engage with situations that could create further strain may not be coldness, but rather a deliberate effort to prioritize duty over personal conflict.